Hello, 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 Stampin' friends. How is everyone today? Whew. Y'all, this is your girl, Caron Bailey. I am your independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Thank you for joining me here in the craft room tonight, you guys, where we are on Chat and Catty Thursdays, where we pick an item or a suite from the catalog or a bundle, and we case, copy, and share everything in your catalog. If you are new to stamping, guys, I am so happy that you've decided to start your journey, stamping journey, with one of my videos. I hope everything that I'm sharing with you, tips and tricks and how to stamp, will aid you on your stamping journey. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I know you have the option to participate with many other stampers, but that you've chosen to spend your time with me here this evening. I am immensely grateful for that. If you're a returning stamper, you guys, I still appreciate you just as much. And you guys, I'm totally excited to present with you tonight. Before I do that, you guys, I do need to let you know we have 8 more days. You guys, 8 more days left for celebration. If you are not familiar with celebration, celebration is that time in the Stampin' Up! Year where when you make a purchase of $60 or more, sorry, that increase, that's $60 or more, you get to choose one of any item in the catalog in the $60 range for that. If you place two orders, an order of $120, you get to choose either one item for $120 or you get to pick two $60 items. I mean, how amazing is that? The other thing, guys, that as always, if you find that you are going to spend $150 or more, you guys, it might be time for you to start thinking about being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You don't have to do what I do and do classes and so on and so forth. You can just join for that 20% discount or to have that camaraderie with other Stampin' friends. If you are interested in any of those options, stick around or just talk to me during the live and I will answer your questions as I see them. If I do not respond to your question, it's because I did not see it, and I promise you, I will go back through the chat and read your comments, um, and I will respond in that fashion. All right, so what are we doing tonight? Tonight we are focusing on our mini catalog is getting ready to expire. It expires in April, so we have about 2 more months left of it. So I kind of want to start sharing with you some of those awesome products that's in here, um, that you might not have even thought about. So today's project, we are going to focus on the Linked Get Together bundle. This bundle includes, you guys, there's a lot that's included in this bundle, okay? This bundle includes the stamp set. It includes the dies, and it includes decorative masks. In Stampin' Up! World, we call them decorative masks. Everybody else calls them stencils, but this is all part of your bundle. And this entire bundle of products is $58.50 when you buy them as a bundle. If you purchase each of them individually, they would cost you about $65 to purchase them individually. When Stampin' Up! Releases bundled products in that catalog year or when that catalog is active, you save 10% when you purchase them as a bundle. When this catalog retires in April, if these are items that are rolling over, you will be able to purchase each of them individually for their regular price. You will not get that 10% off. So if you are interested in this bundle after tonight, definitely make sure that you put it on your list and put it in your cart. All right, you guys, let me take just a quick minute and make sure I notify folks on Facebook and my other places that I am live. And then that way we can have more people pop in and join in the fun tonight. Give me just a moment. Excuse me. What are y'all drinking this evening? Oh, I am on my water kick. I am definitely having me some water. I don't know what's going on with my thingy, my bobby here. Hold on. There we go. Let me share it. Let me share it to Facebook. Awesome. Okay. All right. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. There are several cards in here in the catalog. I want to case this one. I may case this one. And I'm gonna try to do at least 3 projects for us tonight, okay? Just so that you are aware of that. Those are what I'm getting ready to do tonight. So the first one we're gonna start with is this guy right here. And all of these, because they're masks in them, there's some sort of masking technique that's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring out some cardstock for us. Okay, so the first thing I wanna do is just gonna grab a piece of basic white, and you guys, I'm gonna share with you this tool, one of my new favorite tools um, in my craft room. I stencil a lot, I do a lot of ink blending, so this is definitely a tool in my craft room that I am absolutely adoring. It is called a grip mat, okay? Stampin' Up doesn't sell them, but um, I'm pretty sure we will because they are becoming fast the rage. All a grip mat is a huge piece of photopolymer that is sticky. And so when you put your products down on there, it's not going to move. So you don't need a lot of, I'm putting it straight down on my glass mat, right? So save those release papers, guys. You are, oops, I just knocked over some stuff here. All right, so this is sticky. So, but I'm also going to use the grid lines in my project that I can see straight through on my, hold on, I feel a little crook. There we go. I'm going to use the grid lines that I see on my glass mat to help me with aligning my cardstock, and that's going to be very important, okay? I did not share with you. See, guys, and this isn't going to move, okay? So I don't need mint tape. I don't need any of that stuff. This is stuck. It's not going to move as we stencil. So here's the bundle. Um, the stamp set is primarily sentiments, which is great. The sentiments are wishing you just a note, a happy day, the best, a lifetime of love. Oh, so happy for you, and enjoy. Now, why are these linked together besides the mask? Wishing you a happy day. Enjoy a happy day. Enjoy, and then stamp it on the inside. So happy for you. Wishing you a lifetime of love. Wishing you the best. Oh, just a note. So many ways you can link these sentiments together. Okay? And then let me share with you the dies. Let me share with you everything in the bundle. Let's start with the dies. So in this die set, you have, hey, somebody's joining me today. Please just stop by and let me know who you are. Say hello. I would love to chat with you. When you communicate with me on during the chat, you are eligible to enter into the drawing to win one of the cards that we create this evening. So definitely interact with me, and you never know. All right, so this is the dies that's included in the bundle. It is 7 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can do lots of different things. And you guys, even if this bundle retires, you do not have to get rid of your dies. You can use them in the future to continue. So this is a very, it's a useful die set. It is not one that is specific. When I say specific to the stamp set, meaning that if you choose to get rid of the stamp set, you have to also get rid of the dies because they work hand in hand in that manner. All right, so each of our Stampin' Up! Die are stencils, and in this one in particular, there are 5 stencils, and I don't know if you can see it. Trying to see if I can get you to see. Ah, there it is. Can you see it? They're numbered. So this is the order in which you can follow it directly um, to complete the stencil project. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm also, one of the things you can do, these are notched. One of the good things about the Stampin' Up! Die set is that they are notched. You have the option of using grid lines like I do to line things up. So you know that you will place each stamp set or each of the stencils in the same configuration every single time. You just make sure that you use the same grid lines. The other thing you can do is, I'm going to try to, um, I think I can get it out if I use one of these pens, right? Is I'm going to go with one of these markers, and I'm just going to follow the notch, all right? And all that means is when you line up your stencils, your subsequent, use that notch as your guide, okay? Now, the catalog has them in like yellows, the design in yellows. I think I'm a purple I'm kind of a purple girl. So, and Easter's coming. So here's the color scheme that I am going to work in tonight, okay? There's 5 stencils. I'm going to try to work with 3 colors. I'm going to go with Pretty in Pink. I think Petunia Pop will work very well with that. And then I think for my dark shade, Highland Heather. That's where I'm going to go. Those are my 3 colors this evening, okay? At least for this project. Now, I'm going to use, I'm going to create depth of color, which is why I'm not using individual colors, or more 5 different colors. So I'm going to try to create depth of color with the 3 colors that I'm working with. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to alter or monitor the, um, I'm going to monitor the pressure that I'm applying the ink with, okay? So let's get started. First is going to be our Pretty in Pink. And you guys, what I did here with the stencil, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I made sure that I burnished it into the grip mat, and this is not going to move. I don't even need to hold on to it, and I'm going to share with you just that. The other thing too is you can also use it to dab off your color. And you can see I'm purposely not holding on to it, even though my normal tendency is to want to hold on to it. But it's not necessary with this grip mat. Okay. Now you can choose your own colors when you create these projects. It is yellows and oranges, so it looks like maybe Daffodil Delight and Pumpkin Pie in the catalog. But again, I am all about the pinks right now, and the purples. So those are the colors that I'm going to work with. So we're done with stencil number 1 because I just did a light application of the color. All right, let's go ahead and pick this up. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Grab stencil number 2. And again, using that little V notch we just created up there. And I'm also using the lines because I use both. I'm going to go ahead and align this. And so everything should be in place. Okay. I'm going to go back in on this one with Pretty in Pink, but I'm going to do a heavier application of this. Okay, meaning more pressure. Let's see if that works. How was everybody's day today? Did everybody have a good President's Day? Did you do anything fun? Don't forget to say hello when you pop in. Let me know where you're from. Let me know how you found me. Love to know that. So we're done with our second application of Pretty in Pink. And guys, don't forget that we did, the first application was light, very light, and then we went in with a lot more pressure on number 2. So can you see the difference already? So even using that same color, we are achieving some differences just because of the amount of pressure that we applied in this process. All right, so we're going to line that notch up again, like so. And again, this is a grip mat. It grips our cardstock and our stencils. And so because of how we're using it, we don't need to have masking tape or anything to hold it down. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this off just a little bit. Now, because it is a lighter color and it is in the same color family, I don't generally have to wipe it, but I am. If it was a darker shade of ink transferring over the light, I would have done a different color, but I didn't do that. I'm using a darker shade. All right, tap off. Again, light pressure, because I'm going to use this one as well for layer number 4. So I'm going to do light pressure for shade number 1. And that's just with any application that you do. You can get 2 different shades, maybe even 3, out of one color, depending on when you vary the pressure and the amount of ink that you lay down on that, on your pass. Okay, that's number 3, stencil number 3, I believe. Oh, this is pretty. Ugh. Stencil number 4. Make sure we layer that correctly. There we go. Okay, burnish that in there. So there's no lifting, no shifting. And then we're going to go right in with more color. Now we're going to go a little bit heavier because we want to be able to see the difference and the gradation in this set, this stencil. So we are creating our own background using, oh, look at that. And then lastly, we're going to go in with our Highland Heather as our deepest shade. Our fifth stencil, our deepest shade, and line that up. And there we go. And again, I'm gonna wipe this off, some of that color. Make sure that's burnished in there. Now I want this to be really dark, okay? Not sure I'm getting good color coverage on this. Yeah, hold on, let's see what's going on here. All right, my Highland Heather seems to be needs to be touched up a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with, I think Moody Mauve will blend right in. So I'm gonna go grab my Gorgeous Grape. For that darker shade. Oh yeah, that's much better. And I'm putting a lot of pressure because I want to make sure that we can see that color difference. It's the only time we're going to put that in there. And I'm going to share with you something else too. Pull some of that purple, that Gorgeous Grape from off of the Mylar, the stencil itself. Pull it into the project. Get her in there. All right. There you go. And before I move that, you guys, what I'm going to do is I have some shimmer mist, and I'm just going to spray that right over this. So I will have the shimmer right here. And again, because I'm using the grip mat, it's beautiful. Easy cleanup. Easy, easy, easy cleanup. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to bring my heat tool in and just lightly do our big, that is so pretty. All right, let me just pull this up a little bit, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like. It is just too beautiful, y'all. And I'm just gonna do a flash dry on this before I show you what it looks like. I'm gonna grab my little water mister here and go ahead and clean up that mat. Okay. But can you see that shimmer we created over our, there you go, there you go. Is that not pretty? Oh, I think it's gorgeous. All right, so this part is done. And again, the colors we used in tonight's project, we used Pretty in Pink, we used Petunia Pop, and for our deepest shade, we used Gorgeous Grape, okay? We used those three colors for our color palette, but we did the Pretty in Pink lightly, and then we did it darker. We did the same with the Petunia Pop, light and dark. And then on the Gorgeous Grape, um, we did Even Pressure. And we even went over it a couple of times. And then we sprayed that shimmer mist over it, and it was perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and put our release sheets back on here because we want to make sure that we maintain our sticky. We don't want to lose that. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Side number one, and then side number two. Okay. All right, let's just put this aside. All right, so we're ready now to work on creating our first projects. This one right here. Okay, now I'm going to turn it on this side because I want to be able to get two out of this panel. I think I can get two panels, two pieces, okay? I think. Let's see if we lay it out that way, if we can get two out of it. Now this die measures, let me put this away. This die measures 4. Oh yeah, this is 2.5, maybe a little bit more than 2.5. Or 4. So we should be able to put this here and get two pieces out of this. So let's go ahead and bring our die cut machine in and get this die cut. You guys, if there's any products that you see that I'm using this evening that you would love to have, I'm going to share with you my host code, my monthly host code, in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Um, when you spend in my online store using that host code, you are then eligible to to enter the drawing, the monthly drawing that I have, for the purchase of uh, when you make a purchase of $50 or more, you automatically get a free gift from me, just for shopping in my online store. But don't also forget that it is celebration, so if you spend $60, you will get a free item from myself. You will get to choose another free item from Celebration. I mean, it is just the month of free. Who does not like free? All right. And I'm just going to put this on here like so. I'm going to put a piece of over that so that we can just lay it down. I'm trying to be very careful so I really can get two pieces out of there so I can make two cards. All right, I'm missing my cover plate. Give me my cutting plate. So let me go grab a cutting plate and then we can die cut our image. Okay. I'm going to turn that a little bit at an angle. boy. Hold on. Hold on. It shifted a little bit. All right. We should be good to go and die cut this out. That looks crooked to me. Hold on. I think that'll work right there. That's one. I hope I did this right. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Hold on, you guys. No, 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 no. Something just did not go right here. Hold on a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy. Okay. Grab me a piece of cling wrap. Let's hope that works. I should have known it was going to do that. I did not pay attention. I should have known it was going to do that. But there is a way to fix everything. At least that's what they tell me, right? All right. So this didn't exactly work out the way that I thought it was going to work. But you guys, there is more than one way to skin a cat. We're going to keep this right here for now. Yes, and I'm not going to make anything else come out. All right, so here's what we're going to do to make this work. Okay. The benefit of doing things live, you guys, and there are benefits. So you also can now see some of the challenges, right, of working with this die. I hadn't thought about that. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to cut this down, and we know what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in place with some liquid glue. Oh, a new idea is formed, right? Yeah, all right. That's what we have a trimmer for. So we are just going to go ahead, put little dots of glue along the sides, like this. So my initial mistake with this was I knew it cut it out. I wonder if there's an embossing machine, an embossing folder with this. And I'm just going to place this on this cardstock. And I'm really not going to worry about whether it's straight or anything like that. I am going to end up eventually just trimming around it. Okay? So what I'm using this for is for alignment right now. Okay? This is going to take a little bit of work here, right? Because some of them I'm going to put in here like so. And then others, I'm going to use some dimensionals and pop them up. Right? And I'm just using the tacky side of my glue, of my pick tool, to pick it up. All right? And I'm going to create just a little bit of texture in here. Just by adding a little bit of dimension. All right? And before I press that in place, make sure, there we go. Okay. And because of how I'm doing this, this is going to definitely take a little bit of time, right? And again, you don't have to do every other as far as popping things up. It could be completely random which ones you pop up, which ones you don't. But just to get a little bit of added texture on there, I am going to pop several of them up. Okay? I want this one, and I want this one. And again, I'm just randomly putting these guys where I want them. There is no right answer. There is no wrong answer. All right. we know what goes where. I was gonna say right there. I know. Now, if I had thought about this, I would have used the saran wrap a little bit earlier before I started removing it. That way everything would already be in place. Alright, let's see what we got here. Okay. And all I'm doing is just making sure I'm putting the right pieces where they need to go. Okay. Okay. That's this guy right here. Sorry, this is going to take a minute. But that's okay. So when you case in the catalog, I always try to tell folks this, that casing in the catalog just simply means that you can case it all. So when I use the term case, it's for me, you can do copy and share, or you can copy and share everything. Now, I generally don't copy and share everything. I will change a thing or two, whether it's the color, some process, but I will generally change a couple of things and just case, C-A-S, the projects. Okay. All right. So I think now, in the interest of time, outside of those two down there, I don't know that I'm going to do any more with dimensions. I would pop them up generally. Okay. I think this one actually belongs over here. Okay. And then we are going to get these all lined up. Now, for those of you on YouTube that's going to watch on YouTube, I am going to end up fast forwarding some of this, so definitely going to be able to skip ahead um, in this part. how do I know which orientation they need to be? Well, if you look at the way it's being the shading on here, you'll get an idea as to what's happening. So if I took it out of place, which I just did, and I did not pick it up in the right orientation, if I just looked at a couple of the different squares or diamonds that's already been added, I'll be able to see the pattern and know which way it belongs. Okay? You can also put that double-sided tape on there when you're embossing, or before you die cut it, and then excuse me. That way it'll stay in place when you release it from the die cutting machine. Alrighty. And once you get the hang of what you're doing, it will definitely go a little bit faster. Okay. You guys just take a look. I mean, that shimmer on there is just amazing. This is another must-have item. You can make your own shimmer, which I've done a video. I can link to that video um, of how to make your own shimmer paper. You can definitely do that. Uh-oh, somebody just dropped out of here. On the floor of all places. Oh my gosh. I don't know. We'll see. This guy is right here. All right. And now you see the reason I didn't move them from where they were on the mat, just because now I know where they need to be in the grand scheme of things. All right. There we go. Boom. And I think I just might 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought we'd do 6 right there. Alrighty. I didn't realize so many of them fell out. All right. And I just popped a couple of them up just because I really did want a little bit of dimension in here. You do not have to. You can skip that step. But I did want to make it a little bit different, add a little something extra in there. And so that's what I decided to do for that. All right, let's get the last few of them put on, and then we can move forward with our card. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, I didn't put any there. And 6. Oh, none of them fell on the floor. Okay. I'm going to play a little bit more with this guy. Maybe not tonight, but I am definitely going to play a little bit with it. There we go. All right, that's done. Now I can put this away. And then I'll show you what I mean. So before I die cut this one, what I am going to do is I'm going to put some double-sided tape, if I can find it, right over the back. Okay. All right, so this guy's done. Let's do a little bit of burnishing. Make sure everybody's in place. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And I'm just going to trim it off. It's always best to cut not enough and then go back in, and if you need to adjust, adjust. I just cut that off when I did not mean to, and that's what I meant by that. Cut off just enough, adjust, there we go. Cut off just enough. That's good. And then the last. Perfect. All right, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of basic white card base. I trimmed off a little bit more than I wanted to on that one, but that's okay. I'm not going to pop that up. I'm just going to leave it right in the middle with some glue. Alrighty. Again, if you're new to stamping and you'd like to learn more, I'd be more than happy to be your demonstrator. I do give online classes if they're requested. Um, I'm also thinking about doing in-person classes as well in the Austin area. But definitely I am available for online classes. How my online classes work is once you book a class, um, you book it in enough time, I'll go ahead and I will send you the card kits. Unfortunately, with Stampin' Up's policy, if it's something that involves stamping, I cannot pre-stamp images for you. It is against the rules. All right, so this is wishing you the best. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a block. And I'm just going to lay them out, you guys. Wishing you, oops. And the trick to laying them out evenly is I'm just going to put them on this block, on the glass mat. Wishing you, oh, okay. And just for, I'm going to give a little bit of space in between, right? Pick them up. Condition my stamp a little bit. Grab me some basic white scrap paper, scrap cardstock. And I'm gonna emboss. I'm not gonna emboss tonight, so I'm gonna grab my gorgeous grape and ink my stamps. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna grab my trimmer again. And then I'm gonna just trim them off. All right. Okay. And then, it's just easier to go this way. It's a little too much. And then I'm gonna grab this and get that U. I'm gonna turn it over the wishing because I can see a little bit better that way. I can. Okay, hold it down firmly. chop that off. Do the same thing over here. I don't really need that much. And chop this off. Even this up. And then finish up our card. Okay. Do the same on here. Perfect. All right. Almost done with card number 1, y'all. I know, right? That step took me for a little bit of a loop. Wishing you, wishing. That's not straight. There we go, that's straighter. Wishing you I want this right in the center, like so. And then the last is the best. I'm trimming it down just a little bit more because I need for it to fit in between in here. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3. So now I'm wishing you the best. Guys, this card is finished. As you can see in the sketch, it's a little bit simple. I'm going to put a couple of gems on there, and this card will be finished. So if you are watching live, just let me know if you have been if you are a demonstrator, yes or no. How you heard about myself, how you wandered on. If you're visiting from one of our groups, my groups, let me know. Say hi. And there we go. Simple as that. Now, because I like to step things up a little bit, I do. And it's probably going to make it worse. And I say that only because I didn't cut it straight. So I'm just going to go in with a marker. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a border. Just like that. Simple, simple. It took a lot of work to do this one, only because I didn't realize that the die, and I should have because I looked at the die, but I didn't realize the die was going to punch out each of the diamonds in there, so we had to put them back into the card. just like that, you guys, we are done with card number 1. I was going to do that one in the catalog, and I still may, but I have got a sketch, and I want to go ahead and see how I can use this product to create this sketch. And here's a sketch that I'm going to work on today, okay? So, I am going to use my stenciled background, I think, as, what's my dimensions here? What's left? Oh, it's not going to be wide. It's not going to be, okay, so I'm going to let that sit aside. I am going to stencil another set. Let's put things away. I'm going to try to go through it a little bit faster for y'all today. Yeah. So I'm gonna use the stencils this time, but without the grip mat, and you're gonna see that it's gonna be a little bit more, what's the word? Challenging without the grip mat, right? I'm gonna keep the same colors. 1, 2. I'm missing a stamp. I'm missing a stencil. I'm definitely missing a stencil. I like the color blue. Blue's my next favorite color. Blues and purples are my favorite colors. So, um, there it is. Here's number 1. Gonna try to go through this a little bit faster. Um, it's easier with a. Oh, I could do that. Yes. At least I think so. Anyway, let's grab this. And I'm using wall safe tape. Just to hold it down a little bit. And we're going to trim some of it off, so I'm not too concerned. But still, I do want it to stencil properly. Alright, so let's use some of these grid lines right here. No, that's too much off of that. Let's use this line right here. Perfect. That's not straight. Right. Then I'll do my little line. A little notch. And then do this right here as well. Okay. All right, so now I want to work with blues. we don't play with Azure Afternoon a lot. So let's grab Balmy Blue. Let's see how they work together. Oh, that'll work. Balmy Blue, Azure Afternoon, and Blueberry Bushel. Okay, perfect. Let's do the same thing. Let's get started. And let's get these cleaned up just a bit. Personally, I don't mind if there's a little bit of purple in my colors, but and it doesn't matter because we put this right back in here, and we know that this guy went right in that corner, just like that. All right. So because I'm not using the grip mat, I'm going to end up having to hold on to the stencil. Oops. See that shift already right there? Didn't have to worry about all of that when I was using the grip mat. So if I have not done anything this evening, I hope I have convinced you that if you are into stenciling, if you're into masking, if you're into ink blending, that a grip mat is definitely something you want to have in your craft room. Okay? Guys, thanks for your patience this evening. This is definitely a longer process today. I do appreciate that you are standing by and you are watching the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like, and share the video with your friends. The more you interact with me, the more you like and share my videos, the more people are able to find me and in the YouTube search. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2 is right here. That's number 3. And number 2, I'm going to change things up just a little bit. All right, that's 2, and that's in there. All right, let's go with darker on this one. Oh, I'm going to do a mixture. Darker. Just like that, okay? Number 2, we need stencil number 3. And we're going to change this out. That's where we're going to use our Azure Afternoon. Line up our stencil, top and bottom, like that. Grab our Azure Afternoon. Ugh. Blues are my favorite color. Blueberry bushel. Oh my gosh, when this color first came out, I was in hog heaven. It's my favorite shade of blue. This is 3. Okay. Oh, I'm going to share with you what I'm going to do with number 5. Okay. Okay. This is number 3. Number 4, I'm going to go in with my darkest, which is blueberry bushel. Right. Like so. Line it up because I do have 2 points, 2 reference points. And all of this, guys, once this is done, we haven't even started making our card yet. No. And I deliberately am going over this. I want this to be very dark. And I'll show you why I want it to be very dark. Okay. And for my 5th one, I'm not even going to use any ink. What I am going to do, oops, guess this will work. I'm just going to use water. Perfect. Let that dry just a little bit. Whoops. You can see where the water is, where the water resisted, right? Yeah, perfect. All right, so we're done with making our background. And that's all this was. This whole process was to use and incorporate the stamp set into the sketch that you see in the bottom left of your screen. All right, so now we've got our sketch, and I'm going to make this a 4x4 piece that I'm going to cut in just a little bit. Okay. So this is 4 inches by 4 inches, 4x4 is our piece. And then all I'm going to do, you can measure this out. I'm not going to do that, but if you are going to measure it out, because in the sketch it has a little bit of a diagram going this way, right? So what I would do is I would tell you to find a point. use your grid lines, right? If you have a pencil, and this is about 1 inch up on the right side. Make a little mark right there, and that's all. And then about a 1/4 inch. Let's go at yeah, let's go a 1/4 inch from the bottom. Do another line. So I went an inch from the bottom on the right and about a 1/4 inch. Then you're going to line those 2 points up in the trimmer. One there, one there, like that. And then you are gonna trim. Oops, it shifted a little bit. Just like that. Okay, and there we go. If you wanted to, you could mat this. And I am gonna mat it because that's what I do. So this was a piece that's 4 by 4. I'm gonna grab a piece of cardstock and I'm gonna go with a piece. I'm gonna go with a piece of basic white. Ooh. That's 4 by 4.5, I think. Right? So this is going to be 4.5 by 4. Too much. So let's take this to 4 1/4. Right? And this, there we go. So it's 4 by 4 1/4 is what we did. Now I'm going to grab my sentiment from the stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp enjoy. Yeah. On this one anyway. Enjoy will fit, nope, won't fit right there. It's a little big. So, let's see. A happy day. That should fit, I think. Let's check it out. So if we put this here, a happy day, that can still work. All right, so we see what we need to do on here. Grab these out of the way. I'm not going to throw any of that part out just yet because we might need it. Okay. And then let's gonna heat emboss our sentiment on here. I'm just lining it up. Make sure I'm in the frame here. I didn't realize I was not. Oops. A happy day. As low down as we can. Okay. Then we're going to heat emboss our sentiment. I think this is going to be such a pretty card once we're done with it. Warm up my heat tool. And one more. All right, our sentiment's on. At least it's on there, right? And we're going to adhere this guy right here, like so. Make sure we align. So we designed we heat embossed, we stenciled our card, our design, our pattern. We trimmed it out to a piece of cardstock that was 4 by 4. And I will do a blog, I put this one on my blog, so you'll have the measurements there, okay? Once you have your 4 by 4, then I took a piece of basic white. Once I trimmed it down to 4 by 4, I made a little bit of a point on the 1-inch side from the bottom, and then one that's on the, I think it was a 1/2 inch that I did on the left side. And then I just trimmed a diagonal to create that little fancy border. Okay, stamp my sentiment and heat embossed it. Now I am going to matte, actually, I want this on a, I didn't bring any carpet, so we're going to put it on white. No, if I'm going to put this on white, which I probably am, it's not big enough. Let me grab a piece of black. Now remember, our card was 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to go up 1/8 of an inch. I'm sorry, it was 4 by 4 1/4. So we're going to make this 4 1/8 by 4 3/8. Okay. And we just created our matte layer. We're going to matte this like so. Guys, you can do any of these cuts with dies if you have dies that are the appropriate size. You don't have to trim them like I am, but for this purpose, I'm keeping it fairly simple. like to make sure all my parts and pieces are together before I put everybody on a card base, okay? So the next elements that we have to do is we need a piece of, let's see, what colors do I have here? Now I'm just making this up as I go along, right? So I'm going to use a piece, and this is 1 inch wide, and I'm going to put, that doesn't quite go with that. Does not go with the color aesthetic, so we're going to have to give that one a pass. Let's see what color scraps I've got laying around. Because you never know. Ooh. That's nice, but that's not the right blue. I think that one can work. Yeah, that one will work. So let's cut a piece. I know we did 1 inch. This was 1 inch, so I'm going to probably trim one to about 1.5 inches. I like that size. I'm making that size up. The tutorial, the sketch did not give a measurement, so I'm having to make it up. So I went in about 1.5 inches, and this needs to be by 4. Right? And then, well, that's probably too big. But it'll work. I went 1.5 inches. Y'all, I'm going to go back to about 1 inch. I just did all that work. Maybe 1 inch and a... I just did all that work to create my back. I don't want to cover it all up. So you're a little, to me, flexible on this part. So I'm going to trim this down to about 1 inch. So it's 1 inch by 4. Okay. Align it like so. And then I'm going to need 2 banner pieces. I'm going to use these same 2 pieces that I have. One's going to be, let's go with 3 inches. Yeah, let's go with 3 inches. I'm going to make them 1.5 inches wide, each of them. So that's 3 inches by 1.5 inches. And this is going to be, let's go 1 3/4 maybe. And then make this, let's go 3¼ inch. Okay, perfect. Guys, I am just ad-libbing this as we go along to create this project, okay? All right, so we need to banner our card, banner them. I find sometimes when I'm designing from a sketch that I already have, is I sometimes try to make it so difficult in my own brain. Like, no, it's got to be this, that, and you got to add this, that, and no. Just follow exactly, and you'll get a beautiful card because you like the design, right? So So do the same thing on the blue. Now I fold it this way. That's a tip. If you don't have a die or a punch that'll banner, if you fold it and you go from corner to wherever your, however deep your banner piece is, you should definitely um, end up in the center of that project. Okay, so this is going to be like this. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. We're going to add this guy right to the top, just like so. They're even. You could run this through an embossing machine. Ooh, you can run this through an embossing machine to give it a little bit of texture. If you wanted to step this up a little bit, I'm just doing a very basic card following the sketch. And we're going to put this guy right over about 1/4 of an inch. Right, like that. Make sure it's aligned to the top. Right. And then the last part of the design before putting it on the card base is to get our sentiment done. Right. So I'm going to grab some punches for this one. I have a 2-inch punch and I have a, this is a 2 3/4 circle punch. Do I have a scallop punch? I think this is a 2 3/8 as well. Let's see if they're the same size. But this is going to be my decorative edge punch. And we're going to make this in, let's go with the black. Right? And what's this white one? The white is 2 3/8. I might need to do a 2-inch punch. Yeah. That might work in terms of dimensions. Okay. Yep, there you go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Now we just need to find one of the stamp sets or the sentiments that'll enjoy a happy day. Now this card I was making, the sketch in my swap group, it is for, I think the theme is sympathy, right? But obviously enjoy a happy day is not about sympathy, so this is not for that swap. No, this is me, because I generally play with us. I generally have a play with it before I create my final. So that's what this is all about right here. Then I'll go with this again. So So this is a pretty good layout. I mean, part of the issue this evening was I did not have any measurements, so I had to kind of create them on the fly. Um, so I will definitely put the measurements on the blog, the ones that I used tonight, but feel free to change them up to suit your own needs. I mean, if you wanted to make this a 3 3/4 inch square, you could do that too. Just make your adjustments. But um, and I'm just gonna heat set this. Versafine Clear is one of those pigment inks that take a little bit longer to dry. So to avoid any smudging, I'm just gonna heat set it so it dries a little bit faster. Okay. All right. Add a little dab of do ya, a diddle dab, a little dab of glue will do ya. Add that on here like so. Put some dimensionals on here. And we're gonna add that right up there. You guys, there are so many things that you could do with this. You can add ribbon. You can add, um, well, I am gonna add some gems, but you can make this a focal image of something else. Um, but there are a lot of things that you can do to step this very simple yet elegant design to step it up. Okay. Um, and I'm gonna make sure my enjoy is a little bit on the diagonal here. Right. And lastly, I'm gonna add it to my card base to finish this off. Now remember our design element is 4 by 4 1/4. So it should fit in a standard A2 size because our A2 base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. So this is all I'm going to do with that. Maybe bring it down a little bit more. And just like that, you guys, our card is complete. There you go. All right. So guys, if you ever do need to reach me, um, you can contact me. There's my email. You can reach out to me through my online store. You can reach me through my Facebook pages. There's so many ways that you can reach out to me. You can leave me a comment right here on YouTube, and I will get back to you. If you do comment or if you're watching the replay, I will definitely get back to you. If you do need to reach out to me, I would be more than happy to serve as your demonstrator if you are in need of a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if you are wanting to explore the opportunity or the Stampin' Up! Opportunity, I would be more than happy to have you join my team. But more than that, I'd be more than happy to reach out and give you some additional information if you do need some information. Um, regarding becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm not going to use these because they're clear. I'm going to decide what gems I'm going to put on them. So guys, these are the two cards that we created this evening featuring the linked together bundle. It is a stencil, die, and stamp set bundle. I'm gonna create something with this piece. I'm still in love with this. If you can see the shimmer, because I ended up spraying some shimmer mist over that. And in this one, instead of using a fifth color on stencil number 5, I ended up spritzing water through it. So you'll see the watermark from the water where it resisted. So these are the cards. Again, guys, thanks for joining me this evening. I really hope you enjoyed the cards. I know we took a little bit long, but this was a little bit more of a detailed process. Join me next Friday in the craft room on Zoom, where we do our February paper pumpkin kit together. Guys, don't forget also we have coming up for you in the craft room, I am doing a collaborative workshop, scrapbook workshop 101 with fellow demonstrator Valerie Turner. It is a two-part session on March 2nd and March 9th, where we do scrapbook basics. Valerie is used to doing scrapbooks, and I'm not, so I'm going to be in the learning mode just like you. But I'm excited because Stampin' Ups, we have kits that will take the guesswork out of it and to help make our first journey into scrapbooking together as easy as possible. On that note, you guys, thanks for joining me again this evening. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, share and like my pages, and I will see you next time here in the craft room.